People, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is going to be a good one. We are currently on our way to our man Johnny Sendit's house. Today we are going to be working on the scrap truck. We are going to be putting compound turbos on that bad boy. So we are headed over there now. We'll go over the plans and expectations and everything that we're trying to get done today once we get there. First, we're going to get some coffee. So far, an absolutely beautiful day outside. Bobby. What do we got in the cooler? Most people want coffee in the morning. Oh. Full strength first thing in the morning. Breakfast of champions.
Yeah,
look at all those dollar signs in there. All right, so before we start ripping and tearing, in furtherance of more power and speed, the laundry list of things to do here is
quite extensive.
Single turbo to compound turbos. What else? The drive shaft loop.
Yeah, we'll put the drive shaft loop in. We're gonna service the old fire pump.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You're just hitting everything this week.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Trans service?
Trans service, change the oil.
Valve cover gaskets.
Valve cover gaskets. I took this oil cooler, or the oil filter housing, and I drilled out the 1/8 inch pipe port here for 1/4 inch pipe, so that we have dual, -6 JIC supplies.
A lot of people will not change that and just run with the 2 ports that are on there, but really when you are running a bigger, this is going to be an S4 dual S400 compound turbos, you really should have those drilled out to bigger oil sizes to make sure that oil has enough flow. So he had a spare oil cooler housing. We're going to get that swapped out. Not the funnest thing in the world when you're just trying to slap a turbo kit on, but a necessary evil, honestly.
Yeah, because oil supply, as we know,
on this channel, we have killed our fair share of turbos. Where we're going to end up flipping his manifold in the up position to try and get that up a little bit higher. They do clear the cowl, no problem, which gives you, in turn, a little more room for piping underneath here. So I guess just to get this out of the way too, I know a lot of people were asking, so let's just take this turbo for an example. This is a S400, and the specs that you hear people rattle off would be a 72, I don't even know what this is.
72 SXE.
72, what is the turbine and housing?
I want to say it's a 1L.
Okay, so let's just go 87. So when you hear people say 472, and they could be an 83 or an 87, you can hear 0.910. Basically, those numbers, what they're referring to is the first number, your 472, is your compressor diameter. That's how big your compressor wheel is. The second number, your 83 or 82, which is in millimeters usually, and this is all S400 stuff, 300 stuff. This varies just very slightly the way they word, I guess. That would be your turbine wheel, also known as your exhaust wheel. Third number is referring to your housing size. Basically what that is saying is, and you hear AR, which is aspect ratio. It's basically referring to how loose or how tight the exhaust housing is to that turbine wheel. So a 0.9 in most S400s is the tightest that you can get. When you start getting into twins and looser, bigger singles, you go up to like a 132. So hopefully that explains some of that for anybody who's wondering. The exacts, the specs of what we are going to be changing this single 72 to is a
465
on the manifold.
on the manifold, so that's what we call a high pressure turbo.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And then you're running a
that's a that's going to be a 465 83 10. And then I'm going, my low pressure atmospheric turbo is going to be a S476 SXE. What's that? A 96?
96 132 probably.
132. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. All the talking's done for now. Time to rip and tear. So, what's gonna happen next? Might make some of you cringe, might make some of you smile.
Anybody know what the heck that is down there? I mean, not the Sawzall, I know what that is, but this little jammy.
What do you got there?
It was like 2.5 pounds. I hope this wasn't anything important. Look at all that room for activities.
Look at all that room for activities.
Look at that thing. We need some of that WAB engine cleaner on this old girl.
Oh yeah.
Really clean her up. Or I should just put those valve cover gaskets on it.
I saw
Greg's YouTube video the other day. I want to be just like him.
We have a rare sighting of Johnny attempting to do his best at cleaning something.
I don't know what I'm doing.
My hand's just moving.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything's stripped down. The oil cooler is now out. The fender well is now out.
So much room for activities.
All the firewall thingamajammies are now out.
We might take a BFH to the old firewall and give her a little bend.
What? Really?
You never know. Hey, if it makes my job fabbing pipes easier, I'll beat the crap out of it.
Got the oil drain out of the block because we're going to be running a different setup there as well. So now it's just time to put it back together.
Clean. Gotta clean first.
Yay! Yeah, we're going to skip that part. Nobody wants to see us cleaning parts.
Yeah.
Well guys, while planning a big project like this, you try and think of all the gaskets and everything else that you might need, and it never fails, you most likely will forget something, unless you have a whole warehouse full of parts. So in this case, Johnny and I basically forgot that when you flip your manifold up like this, especially when you're doing an S400, you do not have enough space to clock the compressor housing down where we need it. So we need that spacer and longer studs to push that out so we can then in turn spin this down. So, making some phone calls, seeing what we can do.
Alright, well, we gotta go take a little break soon. Might as well get the trans fluid start flowing.
So we may or may not have a spacer.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
We're gonna go run down to my buddy's farm, take a ride, maybe grab some lunch, and see what we got. Alright, well.
So we found a spacer.
Found a spacer for my buddy. I don't know where the hell I put it.
Yeah, we don't know. We might have just lost it, but it's here somewhere.
It's here somewhere. Found a spacer. We can make it work. Compressor housing comes close enough, but whatever.
Ish.
Yeah.
So we're about to do some clearance scene ish.
Johnny with the BFH again. Since we spaced it out, and since the way this right here is, I gotta smash it. It's got to be a little tighter. We have run into a little issue with the hot pipe to our big turbo. So
OSHA.
never heard of her.
Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen. So, current update. We have the charge pipe to the intercooler tacked up, not done you would say, but it is tacked up. Yet another issue we ran into. This is the outlet
Flange.
Here you go, you tell them.
Outlet flange.
That's the outlet flange from the manifold charger.
From the 465. Fits perfect. Wonderful. 4-inch outside diameter cut for 4-inch outside diameter. Throw a little boogerty-doo weld on that old girl and Husker do, we're in good shape.
This, on the other hand,
4-inch
the flange for the
diameter.
Yep.
Needs to be 4-inch inside diameter. This is the flange to the big turbos.
So we need to stretch that little girl.
Yep.
Because that flange is meant for
4-inch inside diameter.
inside. All right, so seeing that we're hitting a little bit of a dead end here, let's just, so twin turbos, so take a V8 for example, twin turbos would be one on each side. These are called compound turbos, and it's technically the correct term because basically, let's just start from the beginning. You have two turbos here that are connected
in series.
But there's no air moving. So where does the flow start from? The flow starts from the engine, the exhaust manifold, going into this turbine. So which therefore spins this. Now what this does is then exhaust into the turbine exhaust on your big charger. Now what that does is start spinning the big one. Now what the compressor outlet is then plumbed back into here, therefore compressing this boost back into this, then going into your motor. That's really, it's compounding air. That's why they're called compound turbos. Now, when you're building turbos, technically what you are ultimately, in a perfect world, which is not always the case, trying to do is the airflow that this turbo is capable of flowing, you are trying to double that with your big charger. So basically you're running a 2-to-1. That's not always the case, but technically say this, for example, flows 75. You're trying to double that with this big charger. Now what a lot of people do with triple turbo setups, it's basically the same concept. When you get into a manifold charger that flows a really, really high number, there isn't a bigger charger that can almost double that. So therefore you're splitting that big charger load into two other ones. Or if you have, like, say, a 369 on the manifold, all you have to do to double that is take two 369s, and that's double the airflow of your manifold charger. So hopefully that explains a little bit on mathematics and how they work without getting too crazy. Those are just general numbers.
Or you do it like Johnny Sunday and say, I got this turbo and I got this turbo and this one's bigger than that one, so let's put them together and go fast.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
There's lots of math in that, boys and girls. We just send it.
There is no perfect world in Johnny Sendit's book.
Perfect world is, hey, look, I got 2 turbos. You kidding me? That's pretty perfect.
And a big damn smile on my face.
Yeah. Go fast. I want to go fast. I want to say we got a lot done, but...
We got a lot of setup done. I mean, so just to give you an example here.
Mr. Do.
Need a hand?
I got 2 of them. If Scrap Truck's getting an air filter, it's getting a gosh dang power-driven diesel air filter, Jinx. And this thing is gosh darn beautiful. I've never run an air filter before, and I said if I ever do, I'm getting power-driven. And that's, gosh darn it, what I got. So this is going to go like right about there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's beautiful.
Take that, where's that tight 90? 3.5 inch tight 90 behind me.
Behind you?
Yeah, this is kind of heavy.
Yeah, I'm taking my time on purpose just to make you... So, winding down the day here, we did happen to get the front drive shaft unit somewhat in place, somewhat ready to weld up, but we did get that done-ish. Is that your second or third monster? Energy levels are drastically going downhill.
Yep. Hitting far too many snags. Just when you think you got it planned, you don't.
Nobody even ate breakfast or lunch.
Yeah, so that's probably where I'm at.
That's where I'm
Getting
at.
grumpy.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be grumpy.
You know what that is?
It's called hangry.
Hangry is right. Okay, love you, bye. Gotta go.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. I gotta go.
Sleek.
All right. Love you, bye. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Nice
for
hat.
the help.
Nice hat.
All right. Plug Mikey G.
All right, guys. That's going to do it. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back here